2, 1, 0. I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
It's time to psych the mic, parafans. There are people who talk paranormal, and there are podcasters who blow your mind. We're doing both here on Talk Supernatural Radio.
Thanks for tuning in. We're trying to bring podcasting to life with the best of paranormal, supernatural, and even everyday cray-cray. We're your not-so-normal but totally passionate hosts, Scott and Heidi Linden. In this episode, we're going to be discussing a serious subject, demon possession. But before we get started, we have a little bit of hate mail that we got.
Actually, we have something brand new, Heidi.
What's that?
Pre-hate mail. That's hate mail that comes before the podcast has even been done.
Oh, we put a little ad out what we were going to be talking about, and we got a little bit of hate mail.
I hate you, everything about you. I hate you, 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 I hate you,
Cause the players gonna play, and the haters gonna hate, baby. I'm just gonna shake it off.
So this hate mail says, count on me not listening because no one should think that they can talk about this. And they're talking about the demon possession thing. Okay, so count on me for not listening because no one should think that they can talk about this like shopping for groceries. Someone close to me was possessed by something evil, and unless you actually experience it, you don't get what it is and shouldn't comment on it. This is real and destroys lives. And that was by Max S. But the thing is, Max must not listen to any of our other podcasts because...
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know because we have dealt with it.
Yes, we have. I deal with it on a weekly basis with my wife.
Only every 28 days. Oh. So...
Seems like a lot more.
No, for real, though, we have dealt with this, and we speak from experience. This is like what got us into this work were certain experiences that we had regarding demons.
Max is right, though. However, it does really destroy lives.
Right.
And if it's not handled, it doesn't stop.
And so we're going to get into all that good stuff tonight.
Yeah, good stuff, huh?
Good stuff as in substance, not that fluff.
Oh.
Not fluff like, Casper and all that. This is real hardcore.
You doubting on Casper?
No, Casper's
He's the
nice.
friendly ghost.
He is, right. But there are no real
Kind
Caspers.
of a plain guy, though.
Transparent.
Yeah.
So, regarding demon possession, it's interesting because we come from a Christian perspective, but when we began our work, we weren't Christians. The whole demonic thing is what led us to find...
I just didn't know all the truth.
Right. But we didn't really grasp the whole demonic concept.
Don't wee-wee. You got mice in your pocket.
But from the New Age perspective, Spiritual Science Research Foundation says 30% of people will be affected by a demonic force, spirit, or negative energy. But I'm thinking, are you serious? Because, negative energy is everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that number's way off.
More like 99%.
Yeah, we're all affected by it daily.
Yeah.
I mean, just take a drive to work and see how many times you get angry with somebody. I mean...
yeah, how many demons pass you on the freeway during traffic hour?
Right?
A lot. Yeah. But not that everything negative is demonic, but they're saying that even negative energy affects 30% of people. It's like negative energy affects us all. So that's off a little bit. But in our experience in research, it would be more like 80% of people encounter demonic activity. They just don't realize it.
They don't know it, right.
Yeah. So possession is when a spirit takes over a person and controls them. Now, in the past, demonic possession was blamed on, madness and epilepsy. Like in the Salem witch trials, I mean, if they just did the oddest thing, it was like, oh, she's a witch. Oh, she's demon-possessed. Things like that. Now, in the present, mental illness is common.
Right. Really, they've just changed one for the other.
Sure.
It's all, okay, you're not a witch, instead you're mentally ill. You need drugs.
Yeah.
Pharmaceutical company needs your money.
And then there's the the whole criminal aspect, like, the dog ate my homework. Well, the devil made me do it. So, but which we will be
That happened to
discussing
me
next
a lot.
week. What?
The dog ate my homework.
Oh, I think the devil made you do it. I was
Yeah,
like, what?
no, wow, it was a regular thing for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had vicious dogs I grew up with.
Yeah, but you had St. Bernards. Right?
They eat a lot.
They ate a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Always your homework.
Yeah,
I don't know how that barbecue sauce got on my math. The dog ate
drools.
it.
You
Yeah.
know St. Bernard's drool.
Yeah. That's what
Feed them
happened.
barbecue chicken, that's what's going to happen.
Well, a lot of criminals say the devil made them do it, and that's why we're discussing that next week.
I think there's some cases where that's actually true, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And
But
that's
they're
what
not
we
they're
touched
not
on.
in a position in their own mind to say the devil made me do it.
And sometimes they do, but that's usually when it's not true.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
true. That's when they'll say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When it is true, they won't say it. They
Eyes,
don't
you
even
can
have
always tell
control.
by the eyes.
Oh, we've seen them. And the eyes roll over. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Now, when we say demonic, we're referring to the fallen angels in the Christian Bible.
Well, they didn't like fall off a cloud. Not that
No,
they were cast out.
right. Yeah, they didn't fall.
They fell from the grace of God.
yeah, it
but
wasn't
they
like they were
didn't-
walking on the edge of cloud.
Whoa!
Oops. Because they were so bad
Yep.
that they were cast out.
They were.
And that actually we can get into next week. We're going to get in a little bit of the history of demons, where they originated from, and then we're going to talk about criminals and the effect of that. Sort of like a part 2, I guess.
Let's look over some definitions so we understand the word demon. It isn't actually in the Bible. The term that's used in the Bible is unclean spirit or devils. That's what's used. Now, sometimes devils means, in the original text, Greek, Hebrew, means shade, demon. Or Sair, which means a hairy male goat.
Which is probably where you get that depiction. A lot of
Sure,
people
the
depict
goat
that.
face and
The hooves and
right.
the horns, yeah.
And then here's a nice big word for you, daimonitzei, daimonitzei, which means to be under the power of a demon, which is probably more the case than demon possession, where people are under the power of or being used
Right.
or manipulated or tricked.
Yeah, because demon possession
You
isn't
know.
common. It's just not uncommon.
Where do people think these bad thoughts come through sometimes? Sometimes it is you just got a bad thought and you're just thinking poorly.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of having the good little angel on one shoulder and the bad little angel on one shoulder, in some sense, is true.
Right.
You got something saying, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you take that? Or why don't you tell that guy off? Or why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that?" These ideas are some
Subliminally.
Yeah, thank you. Put into your mind. So,
Well, look, I mean, you don't have to be a bad person to be demonically influenced, because you look at Eve.
right? Absolutely, no.
Eve was just minding her own business in the garden.
Good people are used for bad things too.
Oh, yeah. In fact, those are the ones the devil wants.
Absolutely.
So,
Because there's nothing worse than you take someone who maybe you look up to, or you think, oh wow, they're a good person, they're a good Christian, or they're a good this, or they're a good that, and then they do something bad or do something wrong. Boy, that'll really steer you away from maybe following down that path. You'll say, well, if that's what that's going to be, that's called hypocrisy.
yeah.
Hypocrisy exists everywhere. And so when you go to church in the weekend and say, well, that person and that person, there's not a better place to have a problem than church.
Exactly.
People aren't there because they're perfect. They're getting there to get better and to cleanse themselves, with God, and to worship and praise Him. So it's okay. You get somebody who's like, well, these people are this and they're that. Well, don't worry about them. Worry about yourself.
And I also think, too, that demons just enjoy
They
ruining
do.
something good.
I know.
So-
They keep ruining my truck.
That's a whole other story. So there are a lot of verses, many verses in the Christian Bible about demon possession, but it's very common in many other religions and cultures too. Now we got like the worldly definition, which is like a monstrous, malevolent, supernatural being. So, but you can find this in occultism, literature, fiction, mythology, folklore. I mean, demons are everywhere. I mean, at least in literature and stuff, right? Now, when I used to practice the occult, like I used to do seances and put people in trances. I did the Ouija board. I never even considered demons. Hate that. It's so creepy. Ugh, I got the chills just you doing that. No, don't do Freddy either. That freaks me out. They're all, ugh,
They're bad.
they're scary.
Bad.
But I never considered demons when I was doing that stuff. I wasn't like this bad person. In fact, like I believed in God.
You.
They're like, hey, look at this sweet little chick, and she's using the Ouija board.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Sweet little chick.
Yeah,
That's exactly what they were saying.
I'm sure they were. And then,
Oh, look at the sweet little chick.
well, I mean, demons are smart, so
Oh, okay.
they knew I was good, and they saw that I was like all interested in the occult, so they used me as a tool to bring them into as a vessel, you know. So, but when on our investigation, something took me over, and it was something that I can't explain. And when that happened, that's when I started considering evil and, demonic.
I'm evil, evil, evil as can be. So don't mess around, don't mess around. Never mind.
That's Elvis, right?
It is. It was a song.
Yeah. I don't know that one real well.
That's kind of your problem.
I think it's okay, though, that I don't know that song by Elvis.
Sometimes ghost hunters, paranormal investigators, they call them poltergeist.
Noisy ghosts.
Noisy ghosts.
Boo.
Boo.
I always knew that there were bad spirits, and I considered poltergeists. Like, I think that they confuse them sometimes, like with demons, because they say, well, if you've got a haunting where there's pushing and pinching, biting, hinting, tripping people, that they say, oh, you've got a poltergeist.
Sounds like me in high school.
What, were you pinching people and tripping them? That wasn't nice.
Yes.
Well, demons are deemed, there's incubus and succubus, too, which is a male and female form of a demon that engages in sexual behavior.
It's not demon and demoness?
No. No, it's incubus and succubus.
I think demon and demoness is much better. Demons like, this is my demoness.
Maybe
This is my husband, Raoul.
Raoul. But there's no proof or speculation. Like it's not in the Bible, so I don't really know where these terms came. There's many accounts of people, and then they say, oh, I have an incubus or a succubus. And, I mean, we've even experienced something similar along those lines once, where something was in our room, but I wouldn't say it was an incubus or succubus because we don't really...
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know what that is. I mean, we only can go by terms that we're familiar with in the Bible. So these are terms that are very well known, and people call them that. I don't know. So I doubt that they, the devils call themselves that.
I always call them incubus and succubus. Always.
Do you? All the time.
All the time. On a daily basis. Absolutely. Oh, that must be an incubus demon.
But in Acts 19, we can see that demons can harm someone.
Absolutely.
Because they harmed the 7 sons of Siva. They, beat them bloody and left them naked and all this stuff. So, not in a sexual form, but I'm just saying, so, there's no proof that demons can harm us physically and sexually, but...
Well, there's been some cases.
Yeah, we've recently had a case.
Yeah, we recently just had a case in the last couple months.
And I physically saw a demon, and it was the scariest thing. It was like, and I don't know if I'd said this on the podcast before, but it was like if you were to look at heat on the road in the waves that you see, it'd be like that, but black. And so I knew that there was something there, but was it what she was saying it was? I don't know. But it was making her believe it was. So, sometimes I wonder if it's just deceit and not really a physical manifestation like people think. So we don't really know. But then we've seen people with bruises.
Yeah.
And scratches. I mean, so...
I firmly believe that absolutely that you can be harmed. To what level you're harmed is going to be that level which God has allowed. You say, why would God allow that? Well, sometimes it takes you to get a lot of attention to get you in the right place.
Look at Job.
Yeah. What'd Job do? Nothing.
Nothing.
So
it worked out in his benefit, of course, but...
You want to talk about somebody who's been tried and tested, go to the book of Job. You only have to read probably the first 2 pages, and you'll be like, what?
Yeah, it's a great book because
it is.
Talks about how Satan
right
interacts with us and how God oversees it all.
Yeah.
Now, Ephesians 6:12 is part of our website for SWAT.
Right.
You want to read that?
Sure. Would you like me to read that?
Yeah, I would.
I can.
You're
Which
good.
voice should I use?
You can just use Scott voice.
That's